we want to give our kids freedom. In structure is freedom. It does not have to be confining. It sounds confining, but it doesn't have to be, because if we look at the bottom here, you've got school and you might have chess club and you have all the tasks for your day if you make a schedule. And of course, you have time built in for homework. But if you can talk to your kid and show them the reason we're planning all this out, the reason you have so much structure, all these things you must do during the day, is so at the end of the day you have all this white space. This white space is freedom. It's your time. So helping them see the benefit, we're not just telling them this has to be done. We're saying do this so you can have your time to yourself. The structure of a list reduces anxiety in kids. There's nothing worse than the feeling, I hate the feeling of not knowing what I've forgotten as I'm dragging my suitcase to the airport for a trip. It's an awful feeling, that wonder, and it's with me every time I travel because I don't make a checklist, and I spend the whole rest of my life using checklists because they're great. So for me, I need a checklist for everything I need to pack. Your kid might need a general, this is what we want to accomplish over the course of the weekend. Or they might need very specific, what precisely are we going to do before we leave for school? And you want to leave enough time so that they can actually get through all of those pieces. It can be very simple. Comb your hair, eat your breakfast, brush your teeth. This would be for a young child who would enjoy the pictures or think they're fun. It might be a reminder. It might be something that you can actually check off so that they can get a treat, they can earn a reward if they're not internally motivated to do these things yet at this point. And of course, for older kids, just lists. Every single day might be the same. Lunch, flute, get your homework, bring your water bottle. And it's just posted by the door at eye level. It's unobtrusive. And the goal here, Maria talked about having goals. The goal isn't necessarily to move this list into a mental list so that they don't need it. The goal is just to check the door, because you might even be providing the structure. You have them help you think of, what do I need? And they are part of the process, but they don't have to come up with it on their own. All they need to do is look at the list. They don't need to remember the list yet. Not only do we need to grab the backpack, we need to think through what should be in the backpack on our way out the door. Also want to provide structure in the form of visuals, structure that we're often filling in verbally. We're saying, let's not get distracted, let's stay on topic if you're having a conversation. This was one of my favorite days with one of my kids because I was saying those exact things. Let's stay on task. And I finally found myself saying, I don't want to go down that rabbit trail, we're focusing. And so at that point, we just printed off a little rabbit and we set it on the table, this icon, this little picture between us. And my goal originally was to be able to say, okay, I'm just going to touch the rabbit when I want you to stay on track. You're going down a rabbit hole. That was going to be my message. He understood I wasn't plowing through him to be mean. I was just keeping us focused. But what actually happened was that I never touched the rabbit because he would indicate it himself. He was a step ahead of me, which was fantastic, that he made that jump to be able to say, I'm heading off topic. So the unintended positive consequence of this was that he actually had a way of showing me what was going on in his head. We can't praise what we don't see. How many impulses do our kids have every day that we don't realize they had, that they kind of squashed because they were trying to stay on topic? We don't know that. So at the end of the lesson, at an appropriate time, I can say, wow, I noticed every time you showed me that you wanted to say something and you stopped and considered it and you knew it wasn't on topic, so you stayed with me instead of going in another direction. And of course, rabbits aren't for everyone. You can have a stop sign, you can have a yield sign, any kind of icon. We know that our kids with ADHD are much more visual, and all the auditory coming in isn't always helpful. We don't feel good about nagging. They don't feel good about hearing the same thing over and over. So this can kind of take that step out of the process.